getting away from the Baltimore Ravens, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. Now, I historically have been one of the biggest Justin Herbert defenders you can find on the planet. I've always believed that he has been one of those top tier guys with the Joe Burrows and the Pat Mahomes and the Josh Allens. Then you got Lamar Jackson. And then I always thought that Justin Herbert was lingering right in there talent-wise to what I could expect him to play up to. You know, he's played 5 seasons. He's only made the playoffs twice. And his 2 playoff games have been against, coincidentally, AFC South opponents. And in both games, he played abysmal. Terrible. Specifically, the first game, he was up 27 points. And in this game, he was down the whole game. Going into this game, and I said it in my video on social media, Justin Herbert and them were favored to win this game, like they were the last playoff run. There's no reason for Justin Herbert and the Chargers to lose this game going up against a Houston Texans team that has struggled to protect CJ Stroud all year. They don't have their 2 top wide receiver targets outside of Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs. Defensively, they're good, but they're great, but they're not good enough for them to suffocate your offense to where they are non-existent. And that is what happened. Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. 2 of them specifically were in the fourth quarter. One, he tipped off the hands of his receiver. He picked it. And then the last one, they were down 2.5 scores, basically 3 scores, and he was just trying to make something happen, whatever. So realistically, he threw 2 horrible god-awful interceptions. But overall, his stats were 14 for 32, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 picks. A quarterback rating of 40. Running the football, couldn't get it going. Altogether, they all averaged 2.8 yards a carry. Ladd McConkey was the only bright spot. Per usual, he's a future stud. Ladd McConkey had 9 receptions for 197 yards. Outside of that, no offensive production. This has been my problem with the Chargers all season. I understand that Jim Harbaugh, he wants to play this old school physical style type of football. They got a good O-line. They are built to be able to play that way. But when you have to get put in a situation like the Chargers were, having to go from behind, you're down 2 scores, and you need to score points, this team is not built for that. They're built with a lead. Once they get that lead, they are able to maintain it by being able to run the football and chew the clock and play great defense and maintain that. That was not the Chargers this game. They had to play catch-up. And this offense, led by Greg Roman, is not made to play catch-up by any stretch of the imagination. For one, I'm very disappointed in Justin Herbert. I've been on the record, even though I still think this, he is better than Tua Tagovailoa by a landslide. If I was a GM and I was starting my league today, I'm taking him over Tua Tagovailoa. But after this game, some can say let's give him grace because he's only had Jim Harbaugh for just 1 season. All the other elite quarterbacks in the league, they've had great coaches. They've steadily had the same offensive coordinators, and they've been successful decently in the postseason. But I have to be honest. Justin Herbert is probably going to be one of the biggest what-if quarterbacks in NFL history. The man is super talented. He has the height. He has the athleticism. He has the arm strength. He has the intellect. He has the best quarterback build you would want in a quarterback. But when it comes down to moments, Justin Herbert comes up short. We got to be honest. We kill Lamar about it. Y'all know I kill Dak about it. But we got to be honest. I was really hoping and expecting Justin Herbert and the Chargers to play well in this game. I thought this game wasn't even going to be close. It was the exact opposite. By the time I was writing down stuff for this game, Justin Herbert was throwing interceptions. And I was sitting there like, bro, they got the ball again. I mean, seriously. It got worse in the fourth quarter. The floodgates just literally opened. And I wrote it down in my notes. We got to have a come to Jesus meeting with Justin Herbert. There's no more excuses. You have the stable coach. You have a great coach now. Granted, you don't have the offensive weapons necessarily, specifically at wide receiver, but you're going to get better as the next year. I imagine the GM for the Chargers, they're going to go out and get a couple pieces. But right now, as we speak, Justin Herbert is underwhelming at the quarterback position right now. He's been disappointing. His last playoff loss is predicated mostly on his coach. We get it. But right now, we cannot sit here and deny that Justin Herbert has been totally underwhelming as a quarterback the last 5 seasons. In his first 5 seasons altogether in the league. I expected a lot out of Justin Herbert. Maybe it's just me expecting too much, but I just think he's too talented. He's just as talented as the Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jacksons talent-wise, outside of being able to run the football. But when Justin Herbert runs the football, he can run the football. He's too talented to be this bad. I for one, I'm still going to... They call him a social media quarterback. I get it. I understand. But I still have faith in the kid. I think with Jim Harbaugh, I've said it repeatedly, he's a winner. If anybody can set this kid up for success, it is Jim Harbaugh. He has that history as a head coach, and he has that culture. He can get Justin Herbert where he needs to be. But right now, he's not where he needs to be. Justin Herbert has Hall of Famer qualities about him, talent-wise. He does. But I'm afraid he will never be able to live up to that or be able to get to that point. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I had the opportunity for Justin Herbert to be the quarterback on my team, I would take him in a heartbeat. I would take him over Trevor Lawrence. I wouldn't. The only quarterbacks I'm not taking over Justin Herbert right now would be probably Lamar, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes. That is it. And maybe CJ Stroud. Maybe. But other than that, that is it. Justin Herbert is up there. Justin Herbert has to find a way to be efficient in the playoffs. That's where you make your mark at as a quarterback. That is where you become one with NFL history. You put yourself up there with the greats. That's what Lamar Jackson is missing right now. That is what Justin Herbert is going to miss. Granted, Justin Herbert is not in the same stratosphere as Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying as a quarterback with all of that talent. Justin Herbert has the ability. He is arguably one of the most gifted quarterbacks in NFL history. He's just got to go out there and use it and produce. He's not producing. I'm a Justin Herbert fan. I'm one of his biggest supporters. When people deny and say he sucks, I was there to give him a pat on the back, and I'm the one encouraging him, fighting for him. But I can't defend this. I can't. Even on the road, you're not got a home playoff game. I cannot defend this. Justin Herbert didn't play well. And going into next season, it is going to continue to be a knock on him. And if he doesn't make the playoffs next year, it's going to be even worse. This is all on Justin Herbert. Granted, defensively, they didn't play well. But a lot of this is predicated on the offense. For the most part, Houston was kept out of this ball game. CJ Stroud only had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Joe Mixon only had 1 touchdown. That's it. Everything else came because the offense turned the ball over. The Chargers were very disappointing. And to get to the Houston's point of view, shout out to CJ Stroud. We were talking about his sophomore slump. This game, the first half, he got that touchdown at the end of the half going into the next half. But for most of the beginning of that game, I was getting worried for him. But he got it together. D'Amico Ryans, they came out of halftime, said, hey, CJ, defensively, offensively, we got to get this thing going. And they did that. CJ was 22 for 33, 282 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, a 90 quarterback rating. Joe Mixon came alive in the second half, put the team on his back, in my opinion, and gave him the win, along with that defense, forcing Justin Herbert to be terrible. Joe Mixon was 25 carries, 106 yards, averaged 4.5 yards a carry. They played great. They really did. Nico Collins had 122 yards receiving. They got after Justin Herbert all game. Justin Herbert was super uncomfortable all game. That D-line came to play. That defense, led by Stingley and the DBs, came to play. Linebackers, Aziz Ashir, came to play. D'Amico Ryans had them boys ready to play in the second half. Usually that's Jim Harbaugh's specialty. He's always been good at getting his guys to coming back out of the half, ready to flip the game and galvanate the troops. That's been Jim Harbaugh's strong suit. He is able to adapt. But he got out-coached today by D'Amico Ryans. He really did. I really don't want to put it all on Jim Harbaugh because at the end of the day, Justin Herbert put the ball in harm's way. And a lot of it, I think Jim Harbaugh defensively, I know he's a defensive-minded coach. He did a pretty darn good job for the most of the game. Justin Herbert and the offense is to blame. And then CJ Stroud, I credit mostly their defense, but when CJ Stroud needed to make plays, he made plays. Justin Herbert didn't. That's the difference in the ball game. You can disagree with me, but CJ Stroud made plays when he had to make plays, and Justin Herbert didn't. That is the difference in the ball game. That is the difference in the outcome of this game. CJ Stroud is shining. Right now, he's 2-1 in the playoffs. He already has 2 wins. He's already got 2 wins more than Justin Herbert has, and it's his second year. Right now, he has the same amount of playoff wins as Dak Prescott, and not no more, but going in before Lamar Jackson just won, he had the same amount of playoff wins as Lamar Jackson. CJ Stroud we said he's in a sophomore slump, but his future is so bright. And it's really interesting to see how much better Houston could have been if they had Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell still. They played this well defensively, both sides of the ball, specifically in the second half, with 2 of their best players on the team. Top 5 to top 10 players on the roster. That's scary in the future. Hopefully, because Stephon Diggs is a free agent this upcoming season. Hopefully, they can bring him back on a team-friendly deal, maybe even give him a decent amount of money. Obviously, he does not deserve top wide receiver money. But CJ Stroud, it's going to be interesting to see how they play. It's going to be very interesting to see how they play. I imagine we're going to have to wait how tomorrow goes, but obviously, they are going to be going into Arrowhead more than likely. So if something weird don't happen and Denver beats Buffalo Bills, which I don't think is going to happen, they're going to be going on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. And you can't argue the way they play tonight, specifically defensively against that, what they can do defensively against that Kansas City Chiefs team on offense. It's going to be a great game. Shout out to the Houston Texans. Way to play great when they needed to play great. Way to win the game and go make plays when you needed to absolutely have them. Specifically when I'm talking to CJ Stroud. Because you did something that I'm very, very disappointed that Justin Herbert didn't do. Because I know Justin Herbert is better than this. I know Justin Herbert is capable. But he let a lot of people down tonight. Jim Harbaugh, he let a lot of people down tonight. But I believe in my heart of hearts that Jim Harbaugh and the guys are going to be back. They're going to be back next year with a vengeance. They're going to get some wide receiver pieces. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Quentin Johnson, he's not it. He needs to be cut next year. That was a horrible draft pick. And he honestly was the only wide receiver, decently good wide receiver that was left. But he's bad. All they have right now as offensive weapons is Ladd McConkey and a bag of chips. We're not talking about the running backs. We're just talking about receiving positions. Because obviously with Jim Harbaugh's play style, the running backs are not receiving the ball unless it's a screen. So they got to get better on the offensive side of the ball. They got to get some pieces. But outside of that, at the end of the day, what we could take away from this video, CJ Stroud made plays when he needed to elevate both of them and go into the divisional round. And the Chargers, they did play good defense, but offensively, they did not do their part. And that is my takeaways from both of these games. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for hearing my point of view and analysis on both of these games. And if you enjoyed that, please do not hesitate to drop and hit that subscribe button and dropping a like on the video. If you enjoy my commentary, let me know down below in the comments, what did you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Type anything down below so we can start any type of conversations you would like to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, I have plenty of other sports videos related to this down below in my description. And if you do like any types of pop culture stuff, any movie reactions, if you like Marvel or DC, or gaming, I have all of those videos in my description as well. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you tap that notification bell to get notified when all of my videos go live. And again, drop a like on the video so that it can help out the algorithm. And lastly but not least, subscribe so you can be a part of me and enjoy me and become one with the family. And thank you for tuning in this video. I love you guys so much. As always, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See ya.